Hi all, today's class is about chromatography. Chromatography is based on the principle when a molecular mixture, when it is applied over a stable or a stationary phase, whether it could be of either solid or liquid, they get separated from each other with the help of the mobile phase. I'll repeat it once again. It is based on the principle in which the molecular mixture in which we want to separate, when it is applied on a stable or a stationary phase, which could be of either solid or liquid, they are separated from one another with the help of the mobile phase. The mobile phase which we are using here is a solvent. So we need two phases. One is a stable phase. The other one is the mobile phase, or a stationary phase and a mobile phase. This is an analogy of chromatographic separation in which you could be able to see the flocks of bees and hornets. They enter the flower beds. When they enter, bees will visit the flowers while the hornets will not. So some of the molecules will have an increased affinity or increased absorption to the solid stationary phase, while the other molecules will leave the surface. So this is based on the principle of chromatography. So chromatography, which is derived from the Greek word chroma, meaning the color. Initially, it was first employed for the separation of plant pigments using an alumina columns. Nowadays, the higher version of chromatography is the high performance liquid chromatography, in which they are used to separate almost all the biological macromolecules, including proteins, carbohydrates, lipids, and nucleic acid. So it is based on the principle of distribution of the solutes across the two phases. One is a mobile phase. The second thing is the stationary phase. For a chromatographic separation, we need two phases. One is the solid stationary phase. The next one is the mobile phase. That is a stable phase, stationary phase, and the mobile phase. So based on the mechanism of chromatography, it is of adsorption chromatography, partition chromatography, gel filtration chromatography, ion exchange chromatography, affinity chromatography, and high pressure liquid chromatography. We will see one by one. First, about the adsorption chromatography. So in this type, it is based on the difference in adsorption at the surface of the solid stationary media. So different molecules have different adsorption affinity across the solid stationary media. The common adsorbing substances which we are going to use in adsorption chromatography are the columns of alumina or silicates or silica gel. So these things, this solid stationary phase, that is the adsorbing substances, they are packed into a column, narrow column, and the molecular mixture in which we are going to separate is applied over the top of the column along with the solvent. So the stationary phase here is a solid stationary phase, which are the adsorbing substances, which include columns of alumina, silica, or silica gel. The molecular mixture in which we are going to separate is applied over the top of the column along with the solvent. And components get adsorbed on the column with different affinity. Each molecules have different affinity across the solid stationary phase. So consider this as a solid stationary phase. The molecular mixture which we want to separate is applied over the top of the column, and each molecules have different affinity across the stationary phase. The molecules with a higher adsorption affinity will get attached to the stationary phase, while the molecules with a lower affinity, they move faster than the molecules with the higher adsorption affinity. So the element from the column is collected and the concentration of each is measured. So fractions, they move slowly down according to the order of tightness and adsorption. More weakly held molecules, that is more weakly affinity, they move faster than the others. So the solid stationary phase in the adsorption chromatography is the column of alumina, silica, or silica gel. The separation is due to the series of adsorption and desorption steps. So what is adsorption? Please remember, it is not absorption, it is AD, adsorption. They occur at the surface of the stationary phase. There is no chemical reaction between the solid stationary phase and the molecular mixture which we are going to separate. So the active adsorption occurs only at the surface of the solid stationary phase. The speed of the migration will depend on the adsorptive affinity of molecules. So what are adsorbents? They are capable of holding the molecule at its surface. The impurities present will decrease the adsorbing power. So the another property of the adsorbent is the particle size of the molecule. So it is of two types. It is of non-polar adsorbent or the polar adsorbent. The polar adsorbent could be of either acidic substance or a basic substance. Till now, we have seen about the adsorption chromatography. Next, we'll see about the partition chromatography. It is of different types. So the different types depends on the phases in which the molecule which we are going to separate, they get partitioned. For example, if the stationary phase is a solid and the mobile phase is a liquid, it is called a solid-liquid partition chromatography. If both the stationary phase and the mobile phases are liquid, it is called as liquid-liquid partition chromatography. If the stationary phase is a liquid and the mobile phase is a gas, it is called as a gas-liquid partition chromatography. So this type of chromatography is used for the separation of amino acids and peptides. So in this partition chromatography, the liquid or the gaseous mobile phase, they move across the stationary phase, which could be of either solid or liquid. So the components which we are going to separate, they get partitioned across the stationary phase and the mobile phase based on the partition coefficient, otherwise known as solubility of a particular substance. They get separated, that is across the two phases, by the redistribution of the substances between the two phases, resulting in the separation of the components. So how will you classify partition chromatography? It is of two types, liquid chromatography and gas chromatography. The liquid chromatography, we have thin layer chromatography and paper partition chromatography. We will see one by one. First is about the paper chromatography. It is of the type liquid-liquid partition chromatography. Here the stationary phase here is the water held on a solid support of filter paper. We use the cellulose paper. And the mobile phase is a solvent. It's composed of mixture of immiscible solvent, composed of water plus non-polar solvent plus acid or the base. In our lab, we are using water plus butanol plus acetic acid. Also, we can use water, phenol, and ammonia. So the most commonly we are using is the water, butanol, and acetic acid in the mobile phase. Also, it could be of either ascending chromatography and descending paper chromatography. If the mobile phase is applied from the bottom, when it moves to the top, it is called as the ascending paper chromatography. If the mobile phase is applied from the top and it moves to the bottom, it is called as the descending paper chromatography. So paper chromatography is of the liquid-liquid partition chromatography. So what is the procedure? Here the mixture of components which we are going to separate is applied as a discrete spot or a small compact spot which is about 1 inch from the edges. We are going to apply a sample as a small compact spot from 1 inch from the edges. Then you are going to keep the paper in a glass trough having the solvent. The components, they get separated along with when it is carried up along with the solvent. So distance of each of the component is noted. They depend on the solubility between the stationary phase and the mobile phase. So that is depend on the partition coefficient of a particular substances. You are going to keep the paper in the glass trough for 14 to 16 hours for the separation. After 14 to 16 hours, this is how you are going to keep the paper. After the application of the sample, you need to tie the paper and keep it in the glass trough containing the solvent. In the solvent, we have used water, butanol, and acetic acid. In order to moisturize the chamber, we have kept a beaker filled with this solvent, the same solvent we have kept. And after 14 to 18 hours, we have left the paper like this, and it is removed after 14 to 16 hours, and the paper is dried, and it is sprayed with the locating reagent. The common locating reagent for the detection of amino acid and proteins we have used is the ninhydrin. For phospholipids, it is sulfuric acid, and for carbohydrates, it is diphenylamine. So they appear as a discrete spots. This is how it looks like. Each of the components, they move to a different substances. They are partitioned between the mobile phase and the stationary phase, and the distance traveled for each of the substances is different, right? You need to calculate the RF value. What is RF? It is a ratio of Franz, which is the constant for a particular solvent at a given temperature. So how you are going to measure RF is the distance traveled from the start of the substance to the center of the substance parts to the distance traveled from the start to the solvent front. The solvent front is a maximum distance in which the solvent has traveled for 14 to 16 hours. So this is the RF value. RF is calculated. It is a ratio of the distance from the start of the substance to the maximum distance in which the substance have traveled to the distance from the start to the solvent front. This is the solvent front. Till now, we have seen about the paper chromatography. Paper chromatography is a liquid-liquid partition chromatography. And the next thing we will see about the thin layer chromatography. It is also another version of liquid-liquid partition chromatography. So what is the stationary phase here? The stationary phase is the water phase held in a silica gel. While in case of paper chromatography, it is also a water held in a paper, cellulose paper. In thin layer chromatography, here the water held in a silica gel is a stationary phase, while the mobile phase is a non-polar solvent. It takes about 2 to 4 hours. This is considered to be an advantage over the paper chromatography, where it takes 14 to 16 hours for separation, while in case of thin layer chromatography, it took only 2 to 4 hours for the separation of compounds. So similarly, like paper chromatography, you are going to take a glass plate and it is spread with a silica gel. So you are going to apply a mixture, molecular mixture in which you want separation is applied as a small compact spot, and it is placed in a glass trough containing the solvent. So you are going to calculate the RF value of each of the component. RF is a ratio of Franz, which is the distance from the start to the center of the substance to the distance from the start to the solvent front. The next type of chromatography is a gas liquid chromatography. It is also another type of partition chromatography. Here the stationary phase is a liquid while the mobile phase is the gas. In the stationary liquid phase of gas liquid chromatography, they are supported by a column of inert material silica in a long narrow column. So the molecular mixture in which we want to separate is made volatile at one end of the column, and the vapors are swept over by the gaseous mobile phase. We can use the gases like argon and nitrogen. So the fractions that is emerged from the column, they are detected and quantitated by a detecting devices. This type of chromatography is more suitable for the compounds like lipids, which resist degradation at the higher temperature. The next type of chromatography is the gel filtration or size exclusion chromatography. Till now, we have seen about the adsorption chromatography and partition chromatography. The next type is the gel filtration, or otherwise known as size exclusion chromatography. Also known as it is the molecular sieving. So the stationary phase which we are going to use here is the cross-linked gels like acrylamide, agarose, and dextran. It is called as Cephacryl, Cephalose, or Cephadex, which is used for the separation as a stable stationary phase. So the separation is based on the molecular size in case of gel filtration chromatography. So Cephadex is the most commonly used molecule, and these gel stationary phase is packed into a column, and these gel particles are also porous in nature. So these gel particles, they are packed into a long narrow column, and the molecular mixture in which we want to separate is applied over the top of the column. So different molecules will move across the gel differently. So based on the size of the molecule, they get separated. The smaller molecule will enter into the pores of the gel, and they have to travel a longer distance before they reach the end of the column. While the larger molecule, they cannot enter the pores, right? So they sidetrack the gel particles and they move the column rapidly, and they are eluded first. So the larger molecules, they are eluded first, and a very smaller molecule, they are eluded last. This is how the gel filtration chromatography works. One more picture showing how the gel filtration chromatography. Here the stationary phase is composed of the polymers of the gel. They are packed into a long narrow column, and the molecular mixture we want to separate is poured at the top of the column along with the solvent. So smaller molecule, they move within the pores of the gel and they are eluded last, while the larger molecule, they get collected first. The smaller molecule, they have to pass through all the pores of the gels and they are eluded last. So gel filtration chromatography, they are used for the separation of protein molecules. Also, if you want to purify a protein, you can use the gel filtration chromatography also for molecular weight determination. The next type is the high pressure liquid chromatography. The advantage of this type is the high flow rate with enhanced resolution. You can also able to resolve the mixtures of lipids whose solubility differs only slightly. The other type is the ion exchange chromatography, in which it is based on the electrostatic attraction between the oppositively charged molecules. The stationary phase we are going to use here is the ion exchange resin, which could be of either cation exchange resin or the anion exchange resin. So the resins are the cross-linked polymers. They are coated with the ionic groups. So the polymers, they are sufficiently cross-linked in order to have a very little solubility, but they have a porous that is large enough for the ions to pass through. So these are the resins coated with the cation and the anion. This is a cation and the anion exchange resins. If the molecular mixture is negatively charged, they get attracted to the positively charged stationary phase. If the molecule is a positively charged, they get attracted to the negatively charged resin. This is how the molecules get separated. One more picture in which the molecular mixture is poured at the top of the column packed with the resins. Here it is the negatively charged resin we have used. The positively charged molecule will get attracted to the negatively charged resin and they are eluded last. The last type is the affinity chromatography. That is based on the principle of interaction between the two pairs, biochemical pairs is used. Here the stationary phase is an affinity ligand, while the mobile phase is a complementary analyte. So this is a picture showing the affinity chromatography, in which the polymer is coated with the ligand and the molecular mixture is poured over the top of the column, and the complementary analyte will bind to the ligand polymer and they are eluded last. So chromatography, we need a stationary phase and the mobile phase. The methods of chromatography, it is based on the adsorption chromatography, partition chromatography, size exclusion chromatography, high pressure liquid chromatography, affinity chromatography. Thank you. This is my reference. Thank you.